Valley News Live at 10.
A hot day and even now a hot evening, and all that hot air seems to be ideal in firing up some storms. Hutch has been tracking them as they move through this evening, and he's here now with the latest in your No Wait weather. Hutch?
The vast majority of us have just had hot and windy weather to contend with, but a look at the radar shows northeast North Dakota, some storms festering up, and one in Stutsman County was severe earlier tonight, producing large hail. Now, the warning just expired for the cell that is off to the west of Grafton and near Park River and Lankin. This storm's still capable of some serious size hail, though, between 3/4 of an inch and an inch in diameter. It's right near Lankin, and the Park River area is in the general path of this storm as it moves to the north and east at about 30 miles per hour. So northeast North Dakota right now, the Edinburgh and Hoople areas will be seeing storms, as well as the mountain area. The main threat, hail between 1 and 2 inches in diameter and some gusty straight line winds. The area you see in yellow there is in a severe thunderstorm watch until 2 o'clock in the morning. Thanks to our viewers out there who have sent in photos. This was from the Medina area. Karen capturing some $1.50 sized hail there. That's robust. And Jen capturing these two monstrous thunderstorm towers in the Devil's Lake area, and those produced this hail of hail right here. Kathy showing us a lot of 1-inch diameter hail there. Our forecast shows thunderstorms tonight could be strong to severe, and a few more of us may see them before daybreak, mainly in our northern and western counties. Andrea, hour by hour details on this. We'll update you on the active storms right now and have a look toward the weekend ahead in a minute.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, Hutch. One man is dead and 2 others are facing intentional murder charges after what police are calling an armed robbery in North Fargo early this morning. It happened on the 600 block of 4th Street North, and now 19-year-old Kareem Bird and 13-year-old Charles Harris III have been arrested in connection with the murder. Tonight, family and friends are remembering Jason Halverson for the impact he left on the community. Valley News Team's Melanie Palmer joins us live now from a vigil that's being held. Melanie?
Andrea, I gotta tell you, Jason Halverson was a very special and a very loved man. Family and friends here at this vigil tonight have told me he would take the shirt off his back and give his last dollar to anybody who needed it. He was involved with charities and nonprofits, and of course, was the owner of a popular food truck in this area. He was patriotic and loved his country, hence the red, white, and blue balloons flying in the air behind me. We also had the chance to talk to his girlfriend, Jody, earlier tonight. And as you can imagine, she's in disbelief and shock.
He just made everybody laugh and everybody smile, and he was all about making people smile and having such a good time. And it's so tragic that someone would want to take his life. He had so much good to offer people.
Now, someone else here tonight was Jason's dog, Nike. We're told he loved that dog so much and even considered her a daughter. Now, Fargo police tell us they still don't know a motive behind this crime. Jody told us earlier this evening she has no idea who the men are who are accused of killing Jason. But right now, they're not thinking about that. They're focusing on the impact this loving man left behind. And just a couple moments ago, a family member told me a GoFundMe page has been created for Jason just hours ago and has already raised over $400. We'll have a link to that on our website, valleynewslive.com. Andrea?
All right. Thank you, Melanie. Fargo police tell us the incident remains under investigation and they will not be releasing any updates over the weekend.
She's happy, but I think she's scared being in a car seat now. Like going in when it's hot outside.
In a Valley News Live exclusive interview, the mother of a toddler left inside a hot car at West Acres parking lot says she was scared her baby was going to die. The child's father is now in jail on a child neglect charge. Valley News Team's Joshua Pagero spoke to the mother and shows us new car technology that could save a life.
Selena Cazares says she received a call from police Thursday that made her heart sink.
It was his cell phone number, and the police answered it and said, "This is an emergency. I need you here."
Cazares says when she arrived to West Acres Mall, police said her 13-month-old daughter was left alone in a hot car while the child's dad, Robert Henson, went shopping.
I just lost all respect for him, and I'm pretty upset about it.
Fargo police arrested him on a child neglect charge. Court documents say Good Samaritan spotted the toddler covered in sweat with a red face. Kazarez says she never expected Henson would leave their child inside a hot car.
He said that he was going to go job searching and probably go eat. And then I didn't know that he was going to go shopping in the mall and leave her in the vehicle.
According to a police report, when officers arrived to the mall parking lot, they found the vehicle's car window was open about 5 inches and the moonroof was also open. But police say Henson wasn't telling the full truth because he said he was gone for only about 10 minutes. They pulled surveillance video and showed that he had left the baby inside the car for about an hour. There's new technology available in some higher-end vehicles that detect whether anything or anyone is left in the back seat.
And right here on rear seat reminder, you can turn it on and off to tell you if this rear door has been opened during a 10-minute ignition cycle.
At Luther Family Buick and GMC in Fargo, a car salesman says the car will remind you to check the back seat.
It says rear seat reminder, look in rear seat.
He says this detection has been available since 2016. For those who can't afford a new vehicle with this technology, Amazon has a list of similar equipment you can buy. In Fargo, Joshua Peguero, Valley News Live.
Health experts say in the span of 10 minutes, a car can heat up by 20 degrees, which is enough to kill a child. Police in the Twin Cities are sounding the alarm after nearly 200 drug overdoses and 17 overdose deaths in the past 2 weeks alone in the metro area. The overdose deaths resulted from a long list of drugs that included heroin, synthetic marijuana, meth, oxycodone, prescription medications, cocaine, and fentanyl. St. Paul police issued an alert after 5 people overdosed on what is expected to be, or rather suspected to be, heroin in a span of 36 hours. The people who keep you safe are falling victim to an old nemesis, distracted driving. New research shows those of you who text or check your social media feeds while behind the wheel are becoming an increasing threat to first responders. In fact, the research says 40 first responders were killed on the side of the road last year. That's a 60% jump from the year before. But as Valley News Team's Melanie Palmer learned, these emergency personnel are changing with the times to stay safe while taking care of you.
A close call on a Minnesota road. And this one, more than just a false alarm. An officer injured after getting hit on the side of the road.
From a driver being distracted.
This used to be Bob Klein's biggest fear.
As cars are going by, I can just feel the ambulance just kind of move every time a car goes by.
He works with FM Ambulance and has been in the field for around a decade. And he's watched how drivers have evolved through the years and how their attention has shifted.
From when I started till now, it's been a huge increase in safety training.
And that's why he teaches emergency vehicle driver training. Klein tells us they go over everything from backing up the emergency vehicles, turning around in close quarters, and of course, how to park safely on the side of the road.
There'll be a vehicle in the front of the scene. There'll be a vehicle behind the scene, and then hopefully there's enough vehicles out there that we can be in the middle of the scene, so to speak. So we're protected from the front and the rear.
Protected from what research says is becoming a growing hazard for first responders like Klein.
Any door that you open, it has additional lighting.
This study reveals 16% of drivers say they've either hit or nearly crashed into a first responder or an emergency vehicle on the side of the road.
And if you think this is only a problem on busy interstates where speeds run hot, think again.
Could easily be hit on a residential area loading up the back of the ambulance.
So Klein has a reminder for all of you tonight before the next time you get behind the wheel.
Just be mindful and respectful.
That way people like him can keep helping you. In Fargo, Melanie Palmer, Valley News Live.
We called around to some law enforcement agencies in the FM area. They tell us this is a concern that's always on their minds, but they too take extra precautions to avoid any accidents. Also, if you ever get in an accident, officers urge you to pull into a nearby parking lot instead of staying on the busy road. And a friendly reminder, all 50 states have a move over law requiring drivers to give first responders room to work. This month, water customers in the city of Horace received their first bill under a new payment plan, and many were shocked to see what they owed. Now, some of that anger is being directed at city staff. The city says the change was necessary to balance Horace's budget. Previously, the city had been losing money with its water rates. Staff say the higher rate will also let them begin improving the city's water quality. But some residents say the rates are still a problem.
Two of my friends come over to my house, and they were talking about how much their water bills went up. A lot of people are not happy of what is going on.
City leaders say there may be another rate hike in the future as well. Council member Brian Schmidt says the current rate will help balance the budget, but it won't build a financial buffer for future infrastructure projects. If a new rate hike is put in place, the city will be able to save money for future projects, so it won't have to enact special assessments.
Valley News Live 10 at 10 continues with No Wait Weather.
All right, we'll begin with a look at our Valley Skycam off to the north and west of the studios here from South Fargo. And those clouds you see causing some areas to get some pretty powerful stormy weather for tonight. But in Fargo-Moorhead, things have been quiet, hot and breezy throughout the night, and that's what most of us are experiencing. And if you remember, old Hutch was saying a couple of days ago, the Friday forecast, gusty and dusty. Jody Ray Inkstead capturing this in the Cooperstown area, indeed confirming gusts and dust. And boy, did we have the heat today. Peak gusts out near Cooperstown, Jamestown were over 50 miles per hour. Rolla 53 and Langdon 54 miles per hour. And here in the Red River Valley, it was no picnic either, with gusts to 45 to 50 miles per hour. High temperatures kissed record highs in the Northern Valley today. Fargo missing the record by 3 degrees. 99 was our record for today. Today we hit the mid-90s. It's only 86 right now, and we have a 30-mile-per-hour south wind persisting out there. So it is hot. The air over us extremely dry. And here's a look around the region. Some showers and thunderstorms in Devil's Lake, dumping 1-inch hail, cooling things off into the 70s. Jamestown to your west, Medina saw storms delivering some of that half-dollar-sized hail out there. They, too, have cooled off a pinch. It's near 80 in Lakes Country right now, and here is a look at the storms. So first and foremost, the cell near the Jamestown area and points north really has weakened a lot. Most of the intense activity now in northeast North Dakota. Taking you in a little closer, there are no active severe thunderstorm warnings. This cell right here, this long storm, it's all moving up to the north and east towards Cavalier right now. It's still capable of 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch diameter hail, mainly right here in central Walsh County. As we take you in just a little bit closer, you can see the bright colors over the last hour on our hail size estimates have diminished. So that's good news as far as that storm goes, but expect very heavy rain, some small hail in Hoople and Edinburgh here shortly, and then on towards the Cavalier area on the outside of an hour. Our northeast quadrant of North Dakota and parts of the James and Cheyenne River valleys under that thunderstorm watch until 2 in the morning. And here's what the models say. This activity we have here now, that continues to fester and move to the northeast, but we see some energy make its way into the Dakotas as we go through the overnight. So all the way through 3 to 4 a.m., we could hear rumbles of thunder, mainly west of Fargo, mainly north of Fargo through the overnight. By daybreak, that ends. Gusty south winds pick right back up where they left off. Notice sunny skies here. That's going to heat the atmosphere, destabilize things a little bit. But a cold front starts moving in. Watch these temperatures out west as we go toward the midday hour. We'll still be in the 50s there with the cold front moving in. That's going to knife into our warmer air here that heats up into the mid-80s. And boom, we'll have a few thunderstorms developing right over the Red River Valley and near the Red River Valley in the early evening. As we go towards the late evening, those will make their way eastward with the cold front, and then our winds shift and become northwesterly, tugging this cooler Canadian air our way. So for Fargo, we start out in the 70s. We'll see some sun. We'll heat up into the mid, maybe even upper 80s. And then once we get into the mid-afternoon hours, our chance of thunderstorms increase. A couple of those may be severe, large hail, gusty wind, the main threat. Look at this colorful rainbow of temperatures. The hot stuff, muggy stuff off to the east, including the FM area. Much cooler in the Devil's Lake Basin with strong thunderstorms from the Red River Valley and points east. Here's Barbara capturing a gorgeous shot. There's the tracks, and behind Hutch here, a good old-fashioned thunderstorm. Oh, and there's a beautiful sunset as well. Thanks, Barbara, for sharing your photo. Sunday, looks a lot quieter. 69 for Fargo's high temperature, and definitely a big cool off. And that cool off persists, Andrea, into next week. Tuesday, a shot of some rain showers possible as we stay cool until Friday.
We didn't need it to persist. We just needed like one day of cool temps. We don't need like continuous.